Hey everyone, this is Lions Den with another news and commentary. I'm doing an update of the Ryan Hinton investigation that happened in Cincinnati. Ryan Hinton was an 18-year-old man who was gunned down by Cincinnati police while he's running away because he was allegedly in a stolen car. Now, everybody wanted to know, why did Cincinnati Police Chief didn't identify the officer that gunned down Ryan Hinton? And it's because of the Marsy law. Now, I'm going to explain to you guys why this is BS. Why the police chief didn't release the name of the officer. They say they do it under a Marsy law. But according to, and I'm going to read this. This is on Google, right? This is the Marsy law in Ohio, and it deals with victims' rights. So it says Marsy law in Ohio, officially the Ohio Crime Victims Bill of Rights, grants victims of crime specific rights and protections in the criminal justice system. Enacted by voters in 2017, this law, which took effect on February 5th, 2018, aims to ensure victims are treated with fairness, dignity, and respect throughout the process. And then it explained that the rights to information, victims have the right to be informed about their rights and available services. And they said that victims also entitled to reasonable notice of public proceedings and changes in the offender status. Victims have the right to be presented at public proceedings and may bring a support person. Victims can offer input to prosecutors before plea deals and can be heard at plea, sentencing, and release hearings. Victims are entitled to restitution for economic losses caused by the crime. And victims have the right to reasonable protection from the accused. See, ladies and gentlemen, the police chief claims that treated the officer who was responsible of shooting and deleting Ryan Hinton. They allege that he's a victim of all of this. That's the reason why they do it under the Marsy law. So police chief allegedly has every right to not identify who the officer was that that shot Ryan Hinton. But Marsy law didn't according to this, it only deal with victims, not police officers. So what are the police chief is saying? That the cop has a right, I mean, he's a victim all of a sudden? That we cannot find out who shot Ryan Hinton? And so I'm going to continue reading this. It says victims can refuse defense interviews, depositions, or other discovery requests unless ordered by the court. Victims can object defense requests for access to confidential or personal information. And I'm going to read the deals with the criminal justice system, right? And I'm just being straight up telling you guys how important this is. That this police officer who shot Ryan Hinton Jr. claimed allegedly he's the victim of all of this. And that's why the police chief decided, well, we need to protect, we can't identify the officer that did this. Ladies and gentlemen, he's not a victim. He deleted an 18-year-old man. Ryan Hinton ran away from the police officer that said the car was allegedly a stolen car. Now, I've been hearing, like, mixed reaction about the stolen car theory. Because one, they said that the car isn't stolen. And they said that they repossessed the car, that he had to owe, I think he had to owe some money to get the car out, but the car wasn't even stolen, it was repossessed. Others saying that the car was indeed stolen from a different state in Kentucky. So this guy, we don't even know if the car was stolen or not, we'll have more information about that. But ladies and gentlemen, the police chief just protect the officer because they fear retaliation. Let's just keep it real. And they treated the officer like a victim. So that's the reason why they decided to put under a Marsy law to protect the officer's right to not identify him. And and make him look like a victim. Let's be real. He is not a victim at all. You just deleted a 18-year-old Ryan Hinton, shot him twice in the back. He wasn't even a threat at all. So that's what I'm showing you guys why the Cincinnati Police Chief did not identify the officer's name who did the shooting, what badge number he is, because they do it under a Marsy law. And I'm just explaining to you what the Marsy law is. And it basically deals with, again, victims' rights, which I don't understand why the Cincinnati Police Chief, put that under a Marsy law, which is really not a victim. But they doing that to protect him, possibly in retaliation of the Ryan Hinton's deletion. Let me know what y'all think in the comments.